O'Reilly apparently decided to do a news show yesterday without actually reading the news. So listen to him rip Obama over ISIS in Iraq, and then I'll set the record straight.
Why the most powerful man in the world does not want to lead. It's almost beyond belief that the USA and its Western allies have allowed a terror army to gain so much power. It's now ruling thousands of square miles and slaughtering thousands of innocent people, including women and children. The terror army is called ISIS or ISIL. It's an offshoot of al-Qaeda, and it began gaining strength 1 year ago in Syria when it captured the town of Aqqa. The ISIS army has publicly stated it wants to establish an Islamic caliphate and eventually attack America. They are not subtle people. From the beginning, President Obama underestimated the threat posed by these terrorists, telling the New Yorker magazine last January that they were the JV. Now the president has changed his opinion.
Did we underestimate ISIL? I think that there is no doubt that their advance, their movement over the last several months has been more rapid than the intelligence estimates and I think the expectations of policymakers both in and outside of Iraq.
But Talking Points did not underestimate the terrorists. Nearly 2 months ago, I said this: why hasn't the United States been confronting the al-Qaeda army? The ISIS people, they control parts of Syria and northern Iraq, and we have known that for a long time. The USA should begin bombing the al-Qaeda army as soon as possible. We don't need any more meetings. Let's send a message that terrorists remain targets. Al-Qaeda is our enemy. You know, I feel like I'm lecturing fourth graders here. The fact that President Obama and his advisors did not think that a well-funded terror army was not going to cause enormous damage is simply inexplicable. I mean, what did the president think these people were going to do?
Okay, that entire segment should never have ran on TV. Why? He did it after Obama bombed ISIS. You got your wish, Bill. What was the whole point of that segment? But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why when I led into the clip, what I said is he managed to do a news show without actually reading the news. Because if you read the news, you would have went, oh, okay, so he did what I wanted him to do. Nice. Well, we need to change our talking points memo, guys, because he did exactly what I wanted. Unless what? Do you want more than what we did? But what we did is we bombed the shit out of ISIS and all of their armament from the sky. What do you want to do, a ground invasion? But a ground invasion, you risk American casualties, and it's not going to be as pinpoint, and it's not going to get the job done nearly as well. So what do you want? I don't understand. I don't get it. What are you saying, Bill O'Reilly? He has to think about these conservatives is Obama will do exactly what they want him to do, and then they go, oh, fucking Obama. But he just did what you wanted. What are you talking about? And then also he said so many other silly things. He goes, we've known for a long time this is a well-funded ISIS jihadist group, and we got to do something about it. You want to know why they're well-funded? A lot of people don't know this, right? Other than they took over some oil fields in Iraq, but all of their weaponry came from us. How? When we did the original Iraq war, we just left behind all these Humvees and all these, gigantic anti-aircraft fucking guns and all these different weapons and machine guns. And then ISIS went in and said, oh, okay, thanks. We'll be taking those now. And then that's what they were using. So the entire problem could have been fixed. You know how ISIS would have never existed in its current form if a little guy named Saddam Hussein was left in power? I know that drives people crazy, that they need to come to this realization that we live in a world with all imperfect options. But when you're picking from the lesser of two evils, which is almost always what you're doing in the real world, Saddam Hussein is a much lesser evil, okay, than fucking ISIS, who want to establish an Islamic caliphate, and they're beheading little kids. Look, we went into Iraq in the first place and broke it. We broke the Middle East, and then extremism rises, and then we go, fucking extremism rose. Can you believe that? Yes, I can, because of us, because we went in there and fucked shit up, and then people didn't know where to turn, and they go, I'll go with the extreme guys. When you kill somebody's aunt and uncle with a drone, then they go, well, I was moderate before, but now fuck the Americans. Let's go. I'm going to join this extreme, crazy group. So Bill O'Reilly doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. How can you do this segment after Obama bombs them? I mean, he's doing what you want, and you're still railing against him, but that doesn't add up. And then finally, Bill O'Reilly, a year ago, was screaming about intervening in Syria. He did this whole big talking points where he's like, we can't stand ruthless, brutal dictators. Bomb Assad immediately. He's a tyrant. Did this whole thing. Well, what happened, Bill? What happened? So, a year ago, you wanted to intervene in Syria on the side of ISIS. You wanted to be allies with ISIS. Because guess who else is fighting Assad, big guy? ISIS. So you wanted to help them a year ago. Now today, all of a sudden, oh my God, ISIS is terrible. But a year ago, you wanted to help them. Now you hate them and now you want to attack them. But how can you possibly fuck up that much? And I know the answer. The answer is you just don't understand the Middle East. You don't get it. You don't get who makes up the rebel movement in Syria. It would be the FSA. They're the secular rebels who are the best rebels, right? Al-Nusra, who's the official Al-Qaeda affiliate. The Kurds in the north, okay? And ISIS. And there are some other groups sprinkled in there, but those are the main ones. So you don't understand that the rebel movement, the gap can be filled. If you bomb Assad, the gap can be filled by ISIS or al-Nusra like that, and then Syria is Al-Qaedistan. Well done, right? But you still wanted to intervene there and attack Assad. But now all of a sudden the people you wanted to help, now you want to hurt them in Iraq. But no matter what, the answer is always violence. Okay, I get it, Bill. You just simply don't know what the fuck you're talking about.